Remy Zero, Terry Lynn, good to see you. Susan Jane. While you're checking in, make sure you say hi to somebody. Give somebody a crown of thorns. Good to see you. Make sure you give somebody a wave. Tell them hello. Welcome them to the broadcast. I believe that it's a good thing for us to see one another. So tell someone hello. Hey Ruby, good to see you. Good to see everybody checking in. So, want to talk tonight. We're going to get this week started off. This whole entire month of February, kicked off right. We have a lot going on in February, where obviously the theme and the vibe of much of for many people, it surrounds around love. And you go into stores and you see a lot of hearts and teddy bears and candies and all these things that are out right now. Hey Bobby, good to see you. So I figured, since the atmosphere is conducive to this type of vibe, why not take full advantage of it and talk about relationships in a way that can help us grow and develop. A lot of people I know, when February comes around with the talk of Valentine's Day coming around, I know it turns a lot of people off. A lot of people push back on the idea of all this love and romance, and I know that there are reasons why people oftentimes feel like it doesn't apply to them. Perhaps our relationships in the past have given us a negative experience, or perhaps we're not in a romantic relationship with someone else. And so we look at this time when there's this love in the air, where people are talking about and thinking about doing for other people, and all this romance. It's just the vibe. And I know that it can just be a challenge for people. But this month, I want to go through this in a way where we begin to look at ourselves and see value. And I believe that if we do that, we can change our outlook, change our vibe, change the energy around us, and really help us to evaluate why we do the things that we do, why we see life and have a perspective on life the way we do, and realize that we can shift our perspective. We can shift it so that even if we are not in a romantic relationship with someone else, we can see value in ourselves. For me, that was a big deal, right? It's a big deal. I'm a romantic guy. I'm not even going to lie about that. I'm a romantic guy. I like all that. I like teddy bears, candy, flowers, cards, poetry. I like it all. I'm totally into it. I think that it is fantastic. I enjoy seeing people share that with one another. But one of the things I realize is that there's something that I need to share with myself. There's something about investing in caring for yourself that really does make a difference. I know it's not the conversation that that we see in movies and all, and in that kind of situation, but when we learn that we are worth it, we get to create an atmosphere and environment around us that sets a standard. And that's key. Setting the standard for yourself, even if you are in a relationship with someone else, it matters. Right? If you want to be in a romantic situation, you have to get to know yourself. You have to learn yourself. You have to be in tune with yourself as well. Because when you get in that place and you learn how to serve yourself, it opens up a door of possibilities, windows of opportunities. It just, life begins to open up. I was talking to someone over the weekend, and she was talking about how she went to the movies for the first time by herself. She said, I had never gone to the movies by myself before, but I went to the movies by myself. She's engaged and she has a fiance and all that, but she had talked about how the first time she went to the movies by herself, and how she just enjoyed being with herself. And I've done it before. And the first time I did it, I thought, it was kind of like, man, I feel a little odd. Feel a little odd going to the movies by myself, because there's supposed to be this atmosphere where I'm there with someone else. Until I realized, why do I even think that? Who conditioned me to think that it needed to be that way, that I couldn't go out to dinner and just be with me, or I couldn't go to the movies and be with me? Who conditioned me with that thought? Where did that thought come from? And why is it the prevailing thought in telling me that that's the right thing, what needs to be done? So as I began to look at life, I began to challenge these particular kind of thoughts. As I began working with other people and really taking the training to another level, I really began challenging it because now I wanted to encourage people to take steps to love themselves intentionally. And intentionally loving yourself is a game changer. When you realize that you are worth it and you begin to create a mindset and actions to support that you are worth it, it'll change your entire life. So, the first place we need to start is in the fact that we all have the creative power to change our lives. We all have the creative power to create romance. Now, when I'm talking about romance, I'm talking about doing something that has an impact on your emotions in a positive way. When we're going to talk about romance, we're going to talk about shifting your mindset, shifting your emotions with a positive impact, with something that connects on a deeper level. Now, how come we don't do that for ourselves? Who told us that that was something that we shouldn't do? No, romancing even ourselves has nothing to do with sex. No. We're talking about romance, getting to the heart of you, getting to the emotional part of you, letting you know that you are worthy. There are things that you can do that will start to change your mindset about being romanced. I'm telling you, this month is going to be a powerful month because we're going to make that shift. And today, I'm challenging you from the beginning with the creativity. Now, how do we produce? How do we become creative? I think one of the things that we need to do in order to become more creative than what we are and to produce a creative atmosphere, meaning that we are actually creating something. We are producing something that is not there and creating it. We're making it manifest. How do we do it? Well, first we have to start thinking about it. We have to visualize it. We have to start dreaming about it. We have to start cultivating an environment within our mind that says, this is what I want. This is what I desire. For a second, I'm going to ask you whether or not you're married, single, dating, any of that. Remove the other person from the equation. Ask yourself, what do I want for me? Like, what do I want for me? What makes me smile? What makes me feel appreciated? What makes me feel valued? What makes me feel loved? What makes me feel attractive? What things can be done in your life that will cause you to feel that way? Perhaps it's a new garment. Perhaps it's not only a new garment, but it's, you know what, I would like it if I received a garment and it was wrapped up in a pretty box. Perhaps perhaps I do like receiving flowers. All right, I like receiving. And we start to make a list. I would suggest that you get a notebook out, get some paper out, because I believe that when you start writing down your creative vision, it does something. It begins to make it manifest. The moment that you begin writing your vision down, or the moment you begin writing your thoughts down, they go from being invisible to being visible. The moment that you write them down, you are now manifesting them. They are now becoming visible. They've made it out of the invisible part of your mind into the tangible, physical part of the world. That's what writing something down does. It begins producing it. And as you begin to see it, as you begin to make this list of what you like, what appeals to you, what makes you smile, what makes you happy, what makes you feel loved, what makes you feel valued. When you start writing those things, we're talking about whether it's gifts, whether it's time, whether it's some type of action, whatever it may be. When you start writing it down and you start looking at it, it's now more real than it's ever been because it's no longer in your mind. You are now being brave enough to express, I really do want this. There are some simple things that you can do. I'm gonna encourage you. Here's a free one. Here's a good one. This is one that I've used. I'm gonna give it to you. Take a sticky note like this. This may seem silly, but flow with me on this. Take a sticky note, write yourself some type of love letter, right? Hey, listen, I just want you to know that you're amazing. I love you. Okay? So write it down. Sticky note it, write it down. Then go to your restroom, unravel the toilet paper, stick the sticky note in there, and roll it back up. Now, again, this might seem like that's ridiculous. Why would I want to do that? Because you're setting an environment for yourself. You're being creative in the way that you express and communicate that you value yourself. And so whether or not you live by yourself or even if you live with other people, it's okay, because if you write the message down, I just want you to know that I love you, I value you. You unroll the toilet paper, you stick it in there, you roll it back up, and guess what? When you get to that day, whatever the day it is, and you get to that piece of toilet paper and that note pops up, you're going to smile. Because it's there, it's been waiting. It's simple. Listen, this is one of the ones I did. This is one of the ones. It's just small, practical. You know, you roll it up, you put it in there, boom. It's a smile maker. You know, they come out, somebody gets it. Wow, I got your note in the toilet paper. Silly, right? But it made you smile. Here's another one. Sometimes, you know, we go take a shower. We're in the shower or whatever. If you have access to a dryer, go to the shower, right? Put your towel in the dryer. Now this one doesn't work as well without another person, but you can still do it. Go put your towel in the dryer, warm it up, so that when you get out of the shower, you can get, you know, wrap that towel around you. You can get another towel, just put it on, go to your dryer. But that one works a lot better even if you do have somebody else. That's one of those ones, if you just want to make a little impact on somebody, you hear that they're in the shower, go throw the towel in the dryer, then you bring it to them, warm and toasty, right? You just warm them up. Little things, they make a difference. Sticky notes are an amazing tool for creating impact. Just, you know, you take 10 of them, put them places, put them in your underwear drawer, put them in the freezer, stick them in the cabinet. Perhaps you're wanting to change your life in terms of your health and wellness. Just write yourself a letter that doesn't criticize you like, hey, get away from the cookies. No. Just say, look, I love you. I love you for being on this journey. Put it up there. Right? Just begin practicing creating an environment where you value yourself, where you're encouraging yourself, where you are romancing yourself. There is nothing wrong with you going to get some rose petals, you know, make rose petals and sprinkling them around so that when you walk through, you say, I can see that I'm valued here. There are rose petals at my feet. Simple strategies. Right now, let me just tell you, with Valentine's Day being right around the corner, this is the ideal time. Little romance hack. This is the ideal time to stock up on romantic stuff. All the flowers, all the little candies, all the cards. I'm a dollar store fan. I'll tell you about the dollar store. Go to the dollar store during this time. Go get a collection of cards. You're gonna get 2 cards for $1 at the dollar store. So go to the dollar store, get yourself, 10, 20 cards. You're not gonna break the bank. Go get 10, 20 cards, save them up throughout the year. Every now and then, once a month perhaps, write yourself just an incredible love letter in a card, put a sticker on it, take it to the mail, right? Take it to the post office or whatever, and mail it to yourself. You'll get a card in the mail. In a few days, you're gonna get a card back. It's gonna be a card with a letter in it, with note in it that says just how much you are cared for and valued and appreciated. Simple, but you're creating an atmosphere. You get 12 cards, you do it once a month, you know every month you're getting a card. Why not? You're worth that. You are worth it. Every now and then, take an envelope, right? As you're saving some money. Take a little envelope, save some money. Put that envelope somewhere and write on it, hey, this is a gift to you. Stick it in your underwear. I'm a fan of the underwear drawer. Again, I'm giving you some of my stuff. Like when I was married. I'm not married anymore, but that's okay because there were still some fantastic moments. I believe some great ideas were produced out of it. So I was an underwear drawer guy. So I would put money in the underwear drawer. Just stash some money in her underwear drawer. So that when she found it, boom. Look, that's exciting moment. Stick some money in the shoe. Just like I like the sticky note. So you use a little sticky note. Hey, here's a little something for you. Go do something nice for yourself. Boom. Sticky note and a few dollars. Put it in the shoe. When you come around to that shoe and you're gonna say, "Oh, I forgot this was in here." That's the best. Isn't that the best money when you can find it after you've hidden it and you didn't even know it was there? So you go and you put your, you go to put the shoe on or whatever. Boom. There's money. Here's another one. Just decide, right? If you pretty much everybody at this point, a lot of people at this point, we know somebody with a Cricut or one of those silhouette cameos. I have one. I have multiple ones because I ran a print shop. So I have multiple ones of those, right? During this time where teddy bears are abundant, okay? You go, have your friend with the, you take your teddy bear, ask the person, right, to put a sweet message on it. Ask them, will they get their heat press out and heat press onto your teddy bear a special message? Like a special date, something that you want to remember. Today is going to be my anniversary. You set a day. Today is going to be the first day that I really commit to consciously being creative about loving myself. And then next year, I'm going to have an anniversary on this date because I am so convinced that I want to love me. I don't want to miss this moment. So every year from now on, I'm going to start celebrating myself on this date, not just your birthday, but on this particular date. February 1st, it could be March 3rd, whatever day it is, you say I'm going to celebrate this day because I'm making a conscious effort to love on me. Regardless of what other people do, I'm going to make a conscious effort to love me. I'm going to make a conscious effort to go through this year and not criticize myself, not tear myself down, not break myself all up. I am not going to be the person that breaks my own heart. Those days are gone. I did that. Right? I gave myself the criticism. I told myself how I didn't measure up. But those days, no, I'm not doing that. That's not where I'm going to be. So it's my anniversary, right? So you're jamming. Here's another one. We're just working through this. A lot of people nowadays, they make playlists. Playlists are cool. But did you ever make a mixtape? Did you ever sit beside the radio and have to hit, play and record at the same time? Because you were catching it on the Quiet Storm and you wanted to catch it when it came on. And so you're sitting there playing record and you're recording because it mattered to you. See, for me, when I think about those times, when I was sitting by the radio and I was creating a playlist because I needed something in the background, because when I wanted to call the girl that I wanted to talk to, then, we're going to talk, and then in the background, my playlist was going to be on, right? So I put in some effort because I'm creating a playlist because I want her to hear in the background, you're like middle school, high school, I want her to hear the vibe in the background, right? So that it's on, it's flowing. That's back in the day. See, some people don't know about setting up your answering machine and having the voicemail on there with the music, right? But we did that. You knew after 9 o'clock when the Quiet Storm came on, your voice would change up a little bit. You want to get real smooth, right? So your mom didn't pick up the phone because she could pick up the other line. All that. See, I see some people talking, Jodeci, right? That's what we did, right? But think about it. When you think about it, that was strategy. We had some strategy to create an environment because we wanted to impact someone's thoughts, their feelings, their emotions. We wanted to set the vibe. And now, because we have so much stuff just available to us, YouTube, Pandora, and all that, sometimes we don't really think about the fact that we should take time cultivating an environment and an atmosphere when we are loving on ourselves. Secret garden. Somebody's talking to me. Secret garden. Come on now. What do you know about the secret garden? So if See, it's there. We just have to create an atmosphere. And right now, because we're talking, the atmosphere is building up. See, some of us are going to a place in our minds where we're saying, yeah, you know what? I remember that. I remember putting in the effort. I remember the process. That's what it's about. It's a process. We're talking about the process of creating an atmosphere when we look at ourselves and we value ourselves. Because for me, when I hear people as we were approaching February, people are like, I hate Valentine's Day, and it just you hate it, right? I get it. I get it. I understand what it's about. And it's not about Valentine. I'm a hater on Valentine myself. I would always tell somebody, listen, I'm sure Valentine was a great person, but I really don't want him getting props for my efforts. So this could be Brian's day as far as you're concerned, because Brian is going to put in the work to make the impact. And if you've been hanging around me long enough, you know that one of my positions, one of my strong positions is that if you are in a relationship romantically with me and you are even looking forward to Valentine's Day, it means that I failed you. It means that I failed you in the other 364 days of the year, because there is no way, if I'm loving you right, that you should be looking forward to that one day, because today is a day and tomorrow is a day and the next day is a day. So I don't really want you waiting for Valentine. No, that doesn't. Mm-mm. There's an opportunity in today to love on you. There's an opportunity in today to love yourself. And so we're not waiting for February 14th. No, we are starting right now for the rest of our lives to make the shift. Because what we're doing is we're planning on being creative. But we know it's not going to just happen. So we're strategizing. We're strategizing the game. I like the term game. I know a lot of people don't like it, but that's what I used to hear my mom say. She would always say, the guys back in the day, they had game. They would put on their suits, and she talks about game. When she would talk about it, she talked about how a person would put themselves together to present in such a way that elevated the atmosphere around them, that they were gentlemen. She drove that home, them being gentlemen, that whole, walking and holding the umbrella and all that old fly stuff. I like that. So my mom talked to me about game. And then she would talk to me and she would say, look at your dad. Look at your dad. He's smooth. He put on his cologne. He wears a tie. Look at your dad. Your dad got game. So she would give props to him and she would direct me to looking at him. So what I knew about game, it wasn't manipulative towards the negative. If he was going to manipulate my mom, he was going to manipulate her with the smoothness so that she felt loved and appreciated and valued. See, that was the game. This is why I don't have a negative outlook on manipulation either, because manipulation can go one way or another way. A lot of people only experience it towards the negative, but you can manipulate towards the positive. Manipulation means that you are shifting something, that you are changing something, that you are moving something. So if I can move your heart from here to there to the positive because of my actions, no, that's not a negative. See, you know me, I've shared before, I'm a Bible guy. And so when I think about God and I'm walking and like today, snowing, like, I don't know, it might be 8-10 inches of snow outside. But as I stood outside for like 30 minutes, just watching it snow. And I thought, this is beautiful. Like, how amazing is this? That the creator of heaven and earth, I know he loves all of you too, but the creator of heaven and earth would give me this moment. This snow is just falling, soft, sticking to the ground. It's on the leaves of the trees. I'm watching the birds fly through it. I was like, this is for me. This moment is for me. Shifted my whole day. I stood there. It was cold, but I wanted to be in the presence of being loved. I'm not even a winter person. I'm not even big on winter, but I was in the presence of being loved. So, like, for me, it was incredible. And it was a shift. And I know that you can begin shifting your life. You can begin shifting the atmosphere of your life when you realize that you are worth the love. You are worth the strategy. You are worth the plan. You are worth the effort. You are worth it. But you have to drive your worth and your value up to yourself. I know some people, there are plenty of people watching this. I know a lot of people may not do anything about it, but for those of you that do, when you begin to invest in romancing yourself, in adding value to yourself, it's going to change the game. Little things that you start doing them over and over, it creates an atmosphere where you start to say, this is the standard by which I live. I get it. Look, every once in a while, you want to have, the beverage of your choice. You might drink it out of a can. You might drink it out of a bottle. But I'm going to encourage you to get yourself a glass. Get yourself, something that has, that makes you feel different. Go get yourself a wine glass, even if you pour some water in it. That's all right. Drink it out of a wine glass. Because what it's going to do, soon as you pour it in there, soon as you pour the water in the wine glass, you're going to take on a whole different air. You're going to take on a whole different vibe. Simply because you've changed the environment of what you were doing. You changed your approach to yourself. So as you begin to change your approach, as you begin to think differently, as you begin, there's somebody said it. Yep, make it fancy. Yeah, I get it. It's just a bottle of water. But there's a difference between a plastic bottle that you're just going to grab and just discard it. And if you take that extra moment just to open it up, put it in a wine glass, give yourself a little cheers to you, sip on it that way. There's so many things that we are able to do to begin shifting our atmosphere. Simple things. I don't know, maybe you like eggs. I get eggs every day for free because the chickens lay the eggs. Every now and then, write yourself, just go get one egg and put a heart on it. Why? So that when you see it, you know that you're loved. Just like you go to the grocery store and you buy your groceries. On your carton of eggs or whatever you buy, take a Sharpie, write yourself a note on it. Listen, enjoy every bite of this. You deserve it. Put a heart on it. Love on yourself. Tell yourself you're worthy of this. Like, you make dinner. Like tonight, I'm going to make a frozen pizza. But when I finish making the frozen pizza, I'm going to put it on a plate. Right? I'm going to put it on a plate. I'm going to serve it to myself. I'm going to have a napkin. I'm going to present it to myself. Why? Because when I talk to myself, I talk to myself as a king. So I want to make sure that I'm reinforcing for me what I think about. I don't even have any paper plates because that for me doesn't support what I want to encourage in my life. I've done the good enough. There you go, light a candle. See, now you're about to turn my pizza into a candlelight dinner. But I've done enough in my life of downplaying myself, of not giving myself the very best efforts. See, I've done enough in my life where I allowed a low standard to exist. So for me, what I do now to make sure that I never go back is I set a standard and I rehearse it. Because faith comes by hearing. And so if you hear your lower standard more often than you hear the higher standard that you truly would love to live in, let me just tell you, you're going to fade back to the lower standard because you're more used to it. Many of us are more familiar with mediocrity than we are with excellence. So therefore, we have faith for the mediocre. We don't have faith for the excellent. So we have to do something to create a shift. We have to do something in order to move ourselves from mediocrity into excellence. It becomes a practice. And as you practice it over and over and over again, it becomes your lifestyle. And when it becomes your lifestyle, then you abide by these standards because these are the standards of your lifestyle. It's simple, it's easy, but it has to be done. Because if we don't do it, how will it ever exist? If we don't do it, the mediocre atmosphere around us will do what? It's going to draw mediocrity to us. Attraction, that's the way attraction works. Do you know as you operate in your excellence, you are going to repel those that are mediocre? Because they're going to recognize, out of my league. That's too much. It'll become intimidating. Your excellence will become intimidating, and you'll change what those that are attracted to you. So what I'm talking about is simply cleaning up our atmosphere, cleaning up our language, starting off right now because it's a month where people get all bent up out of shape and I hate Valentine's Day. No, don't hate on Valentine anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to create the shift in our environment for the way that we love ourselves each and every day so that February 14th, February 19th, December 12th, August 3rd, they all feel the same. Because this is what we do. We are leaders in love, realizing that what we want in our life, we have to work for, press into, we have to push for it. We have to press towards that mark. Why is it a press? Because it's not easy. So if you want it, press towards that mark. If you want it, forget the things that are behind you. Like, forget that. No, I don't want that anymore. Let me let that go. All things, I need to step into an all things becoming new phase of life. I'm so tired of the old anyway. Let me step into this all things become new. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to cooperate with the excellence that has already been ordained for my life. The excellence that has already been established for my life. I need to now cooperate with it. Cooperative agreement. Cooperate. That means it's you putting in some effort too. We can't just expect for it to happen. We just can't look for it to happen. We can't just pray for something to happen, think that it's going to manifest that way. No. You pray and you do. You meditate and you do. See, there's a doing. We can't just be hearers of words. We have to become doers of the words as well. Come on now. So let's in this month, let's take a stand and make a shift. Forget the things that are behind us. We're going to press towards that mark that's in front of us. We're going to see ourselves differently. We're going to intentionally value ourselves differently through effort, tangible effort. All month long, we're going to put in effort that says, I can see what I'm doing. Today, as I was walking through the snow to go feed the animals, every step that I took, it left a track. Why is that important? Well, it's important for a couple reasons. For one, it was important for me to know, to see what I was doing. Every step that I took showed me that I was making progress, that I was going forward. As I walked back and forth, it showed me that I was doing something because there was a path. When I first walked through, the snow was all nice and smooth and evened out, but I walked through and I disturbed what had been. I disturbed it with my actions. I disturbed the status quo. I disturbed what was there because there was something else that needed to be, there was another objective that needed to be attained. I needed to disturb what was so I could get where I needed to go, get what I needed to get so that I could deliver what I needed to deliver. And so I walked through, got what I needed, walked back, I delivered it. I thought about this though. The tracks that we make are not only for us. Because as I was walking, I saw some other little tracks, some other little critters here and there, right? So yeah, I saw the cat's tracks, I saw some squirrels, I think I saw like a little fox, but I saw other tracks. But as I was looking, I thought, these are the tracks that I want my son to see. These are the tracks that I want my daughters to see. These are the tracks that I want other people when I'm talking to them, when I'm sharing, these are the tracks that I want them to see. I want them to see that Brian walked that way. That's what you get to do. As you start loving yourself, you know what you get to do? You get to do this. Hey, follow me. These are some good tracks. I wasn't always in this place. There was a broken place. I was brokenhearted. I told you. I was so brokenhearted, I was asking God to kill me. I was brokenhearted. I was done. I wanted the game to be over. God says, no, I'm going to let you keep on breathing. So now I need to make some tracks. I can say, look, come on, we're going to a better place. Come on. You don't have to be bitter about it. Don't be bitter about it, because if you're bitter about it, that means that your perspective is cutting you off from the possibility. So let's not be bitter about this. Let's make a shift. Let's walk in these tracks. Let's walk from where we are to life more abundantly. We get to walk in these tracks. So perhaps you feel like, but I don't even know how to make tracks. Let me show you. We're going to go with day one. We're going to start here with the creative process. We're going to start here writing it down, writing that vision. What do you want? What do you really, not what have you had? What do you want? What do you really desire? And are you brave enough, courageous enough, daring enough? Do you have enough lion in you to go ahead and roar and put it down on paper? Are you bold enough to say, I really do want to be loved. I do want someone to embrace me. I do want someone to look at me and treasure me when they look at me. I do want that. And because here's what the kicker is. Everything that you say you want, I want to see you operate in that. You want to be embraced? Look, every now and then just level. Give yourself a little squeeze. Everything. You want someone to look at you and think that you are the most beautiful, awe-inspiring, just masterpiece? Next time you walk past the mirror, every time you walk past the mirror, go by, come back, give yourself a little bit. I see you. You look good. You look good. You're looking good. Give yourself a compliment. Sometimes just look at yourself with wonder, with awe. Regardless of what your situation is, feel the fact that you are breathing and just be captured by it. Be captured. Be captured by the fact that you are a masterpiece. Be captured by the fact that you are once and forever. How special are you to be a once and forever experience? How special are you that you are not a duplicate? See, what we need to do is we need to look at ourselves, value ourselves, and recognize that we are so special that we haven't been and we won't be duplicated. Like, you give yourself that kind of honor on every day. Honor yourself every day with that. It's going to start changing your mindset. Snow. It said that each snowflake is different. Now, I don't know how somebody knows that, but just the fact that when you think about all that beautiful snow that was falling today, each flake totally different. And that's us. Like, we represent that. It represents us. Like, you are once and forever beautiful. You are once and forever incredible. You are once and forever brilliant. You are once and forever worthy. Anything that there's only one of, the value of it is so incredibly high because there's only one. The value of being a one of one makes you like incredibly valuable. So I think we need to get in on this. I think we need to strategize. I think we need to think through it. And I think more than anything, we need to operate in it. We need to operate in knowing worth and value, right? So let's pray. And this is supposed to be 15 minutes, but you all have been providing a lot of great questions and whatnot. So let's pray. Thank you, Father, for this day that you have made for us to rejoice and be glad. And thank you for all that you've done, for your many wonderful blessings. Thank you for how you've opened up doors of opportunity for us to be together. Thank you for these social media platforms and the internet and the brilliant minds that even created these and brought so many of us together. Thank you for that. We thank you because everyone has a gift within them. Thank you for the purpose of our lives. Thank you for what we are meant to accomplish and for the expectation that is assigned to our life. That in our seasons, we are people that are meant to be and destined to be fruitful, destined to produce something. We are treasure carriers, and we are meant to deliver our treasure to the world. I pray that you would release us from selfishness. Keep us from being caught up in our selfish fears that are restricting us from moving forward into our service. I pray that you would bless each one as we go our separate ways tonight. I pray that you would open up those doors, open up our minds to the opportunity that we have to care for and love and be good stewards of our bodies, of our minds, of our beings. Thank you for all that you've done. I pray, as we do always, that you would grant miracles to those that have been going through trying and difficult times, those that have been walking through even the valley of the shadow of death. I pray that you would do miracles for them. Pray that you would turn situations around, open up their minds to possibilities, open up their hearts to new relationships. I pray that you would give someone the boldness and courage to walk away from the situation that has been killing them, that thing that has been sapping their energy, that thing that they know that they should get away from, but they just keep going back. I pray that you would break those chains and free them to run. Free them to run for their life. I pray that as they do that, you would give them peace in their heart and in their mind, and courage to continue to move forward. Allow that peace to surpass all of our understanding. Guard us and keep us and connect us. Bring us back together at the appointed time. And we thank you for these things. In Christ's name, amen. All right. Appreciate you all. Look forward to doing this often. I am B.A. Shepherd, 2 P's A-R-D, reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. Good night.